Hi guys, thanks for tuning in again. This week is Acharei Mot Kedoshim, and the famous verse, well known, "V'ahavta l'recha kamocha ani Hashem," love your fellow Jew like yourself. But there's the first half of that, which is not as well known, is Lo sikom v'lo sitor et bnei amecha. Don't take revenge and don't hold a grudge against my people. So I want to talk about 2 points. One, what's the l're'echa? Two, your neighbor. You should love him too. And the Ibn Ezra, a biblical commentary, he says, one should love that which is good for one's neighbor as he would do for himself. If something is good for someone, then that's what you should love. If you know that a person can benefit from something, help them with it. The second part, which is really the first part, is part of loving a fellow Jew is not to take revenge if someone does something wrong, and don't hold a grudge. You gotta let it go. These are very, very difficult things to do, I admit. And there are things that it really takes angelic powers to overcome. But I want to focus for a moment about the idea that the V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, loving your fellow Jew as yourself, applies to your family members as well. So those who are married, it applies to your spouse. For those who have a family, it applies to your children, and of course to your parents. That whenever mitzvah we're doing, or they ask us to do something, or a baby who needs a diaper change, or to be fed at 2 a.m, I don't know, you're probably just trying to get out of bed and trying to take care of things, but keep in mind, that's Ahavat Yisrael. If your spouse asks you to take out the garbage or set the table, that's Ahavat Yisrael. If your parent says, please make your bed and clean up your room, and you do it, that's also Ahavat Yisrael. It applies to them as well. My granddaughter is busy making a podcast with a friend about current events for 10-year-olds. And I said, please send it to me. I'd love to listen to it. And she said, Saba, why would you be interested? I explained to her, because it's important to you. If it's important to you, it's important to me. What you love, I want to take an interest in. And that's how we build that relationship. I think the more that we focus on what we can do for others and how we can help others, I think it'll help us address the idea of not taking revenge and not holding a grudge. My wife and I had a fight the other night, and it was my fault, totally my fault, and I apologized, and I wondered, why did it bother me so much? And I realized I really love my wife, but I thought about it for a moment. I spent these past 14 months spending a lot of time with Debbie in our home. And yet my love and admiration for her has grown. I feel very fortunate. And I think that's one thing that COVID I've discovered about myself. And so I put it out to you guys. Besides thinking about Ahavat Yisrael that applies to your family members as well, what has COVID taught you? How has it informed you, hopefully in a most positive way, about you, your relationships, and your surroundings? Because as we emerge here, people want to get back to normal, whatever that is. But I would like to get back to thinking that I become a better person through this experience. It's been hard for all of us, and we're all tired. I know I am. But V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, I have an opportunity, and I've had this opportunity for 14 months. How'd you do? How'd your Ahavat Yisrael go with your family members? If you like what you hear, please pass it on. Thanks always for listening. Always appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. Shabbat Shalom.